Hi, Anthony here from Learning to Play the Guitar. In this video I'm going to show you how to play a solo acoustic fingerstyle version of the song Unchained Melody as famously recorded by the Righteous Brothers back in 1965 and also featured in the Ghost movie soundtrack from 1990. This version is in the key of G, utilizing the easiness, the relative easiness anyway, of the open strings of the G chord. Just a reminder, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe, and you can check out more lessons and my books at my website, learningtoplaytheguitar.net. So the first thing we're going to take note of here is how we're actually going to pluck the strings. Generally, my finger picking rule is the thumb will play all the bass notes, so the top three strings, the E, A, D strings, and then my index will play the G, middle finger will play the B, ring finger will play the E string. And I'll stick with that rule for most of the tune. There will be some exceptions as we go along, but that will be the majority of how I will finger pick this tune as we watch it closely. So starting off, we have our G chord. I'm going to pick the two extremities of the G chord, the top 3G and the bottom 3G, bass and treble. And then we're picking our way through D, G, D strings, index and thumb there, middle finger on the B string, index finger on the G. Then we jump first finger down to fret 2, F sharp, bass note, little finger 5, melody, high A there. Together, very nice little transition, index and middle, G, B strings, bar 2, E minor related with the 3G melody on top, thumb, index, thumb, middle, index, finger off, open D, thumb, bit of a jump here to fret 10, third finger is my recommendation. Stretching out now, a C major 7 type thing, C chord with a bit of jazziness. First finger on the fret 8 bass note, stretching all the way to fret 12. So I'm going to do that there. Thumb pluck, hanging on to these notes, letting them ring out where possible. We're now going to form the C major 7 chord shape, which is one of these guys here. I'm going to pick 8, 9. There I use my index on that string for an exception. Thumb, index, middle, ring on that, so a little arpeggio. C major 7 chord there. Then we're going to go to the D chord with a simple D, thumb pair on the bottom, which is my middle and my ring finger, thumb again, jumping up, little inversion of D there, 5 and 7 and tab, double 7 little finger on the bottom string there. Second part starts the same way, all the verses sort of begin with this G thing again. Same story from before, but then we have a fret 4 on the D string, little finger on fret 5 on the bottom, second and little finger, because I need my first finger to pluck the 3D there. So thumb, ring finger, plucking, and then middle finger plucks the B string there. Slide that down. You can either use your little finger on the bottom if you find it easy to slide, or change the third on that 3G note down there. It sort of doesn't matter too much, whatever is smooth. E minor with that 3G note again. Again, thumb is playing the bass. Every other string is a different finger. Number 1. Now here I very importantly land a regular D chord shape. 3, 0, 2, sus first, so my bottom finger is missing, but then I stick them down for the pair. Thumb, 3, 5, walking up through a E minor sort of transitional thing to another version of D on the 5, 7. And then we have a pickup into the next section, which is into verse 2. So going into verse 2, we have that 3D note as I said before. Back to the G, same as before, very similar. 5-2. That's E minor for the 3G, third or little finger on the bottom. Little variation here now, I'm going to go D in the bass, fret 3, fret 5, so a G and an A there, melody on the bottom string. Again, we're back to this 8-12 C major 7 stretch thing, and that same arpeggio from before, and the same run up from before too. So it repeats this section, 5-7, double 7. Then back to the G again. Same thing, that's that 4-5 thing being recycled. E minor 2-3 thing again. Now we have a little change coming up here, jumping up to a high, that super high note, fret 10, can't sing that. D, little finger on the 10, first finger on the 7, so a little arpeggio again, ring finger on the bottom, thumb on the D string, index, middle, ring, then a little sus. 8 added in, then back to 1-7, then a bit of a D7 there with this number 8 on the bottom, which is the C note. So I'll do it again. Just watch my fingers. Then we have this little 6th rundown, double 7, open the string, 4-3, bass on the G chord, of course, and then got a 3-4, finger pops up to catch the 3D note there, and then I actually hang on to the the number 4 note there, which is the B. Then we have D, but in this case I'm going to use fingers 1 and 2 because I need to stretch that number 5 A on the bottom there, and then first finger back to the other number 2 F sharp on the bottom. So stretch, E minor, 3-2 again, can be third or little finger, probably third here. Little melody, whoops, so E minor, 3D, open B, 1 finger, that's all you need. Thumb hopping around there, notice that for how I do that. A little chord there, E minor 9, D. Now into the bridge in a minute, C chord, so pair with a thumb, thumb, index, middle, big jump here to an A minor. 7 buckled, all you need is 1 finger though. So extremities, thumb, index, middle, bunch of 5s. So that takes a bit of practice to get that smooth. Jump. D7, but all you need is this finger here on the 7. Picking those, thumb, index, middle, index. Little sort of a D6 theory nerds. 777 there with the D bass note, and then we're into a G, but I'm going to use the G with the 3rd finger, little finger on the bottom, pair, because then we have the old G, C sort of thing going on. You know, thumb hops around. So in this bar, little finger on that number 3 F note, which is that note there. So then the bass note's ringing out all the way through. A little bit fiddly here into the bridge, based around a C, little melody, sort of plucking my way through the bottom strings there, D chord, little pull off, 3-2, then back to C, thumb, thumb, 16th, little skippiness there, B flat. So I bar chord it that way with the 1s and the 3s, pair. So that was my thumb, ring, index, middle ring, but you could double thumb that if you want. C again, back to the same melody, C, the D, E, G note there. Now stretching D related, but 5, bass note 0 to a bit of that 6 chord again, and then back to the G. So do it one more time, just slowly, that whole line which repeats twice. D, C, and then B flat, C, stretchy D with the 5, 7s, and then back to the G. In this case I'd have the pair again. Just going out the second time, which is that pattern again. And then you go back to verse 2, and then the second time round we'd loop all the way around, as you can watch on the other video, how I'd structurally set this thing out, we end up going from this C, if I'm going back to sort of near the end of the song, C, that big A minor jump, the 5s, D7, and then we've got that little D6 thing, then we jump back to the G, and this is how we're going to end the tune with this little G pattern. Watch my thumb there, and GC thing and a bit of G. Lots of G.